When we talk about the incarnation, we're talking about, for example, it's not just about the infinite becoming finite. It's the fact that certain properties that we want to ascribe to the divine that are considered to be necessary attributes, such that if God lacks them, he cannot be God, like omniscience, his omnipotence. All of these things, which we see actually in the incarnation, are actually removed from Jesus, who is said to be God. And if they're not removed, then Samuel has to do some work on explaining to us how the Son is ignorant and yet he's still God.
Welcome back to The Mystery in the Mirror with Dr. Sam, where faith meets reason and creation itself becomes a classroom for theology. In today's topic on the Incarnation, we tackle a bold question. Is the Incarnation rational? Can the eternal God truly step into time? Can infinity become finite? Can the invisible clothe himself in flesh? Let's begin with the foundation. Romans 1:20 declares, "For his invisible attributes, namely, his eternal power and divine nature, have been clearly perceived ever since the creation of the world in the things that have been made." If creation reveals something of the Creator, then mathematics, one of the purest languages of creation, can offer us profound glimpses into divine truth. The Old Testament anticipated the Incarnation not as irrational, but as God's mysterious plan. Isaiah 7:14. "Behold, the virgin shall conceive and bear a son, and shall call his name Emmanuel," meaning God with us. Isaiah 9:6. "For to us a child is born, and his name shall be called Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace." Daniel 7:13 and 14. We see the Son of Man, who receives eternal dominion from the Ancient of Days. Each prophecy points to the infinite stepping into time. The New Testament confirms this in John 1:1. "In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God." And John 1:14 declares the turning point of history. The Word became flesh and dwelt among us. But how do we make sense of this logically? Let's turn our attention to the number line. It stretches from negative infinity on the left through the 0 point in the middle and out toward positive infinity on the right. This is more than just math. It's a metaphor for eternity. At the center lies the mystery number. 0. Ancient thinkers struggled with 0. Is it absence or is it position? Nothing or something? Similarly, 0 mirrors the Incarnation, the point where every finite count must begin. God, who is infinite, passes through the 0 point, stepping into the finite world, the one who fills all things now assuming the form of a servant. Let's zero in. The 0 point holds a profound place in pure mathematics and even philosophy. 1. An additive identity. 0 is the only number such that for any number a plus 0 is equal to a. It represents nothingness, yet also acts as a foundation for arithmetic. 2. A boundary between positive and negative. On the number line, 0 is the pivot point that separates positive infinity from negative infinity. 3. A multiplicative annihilator. Any number multiplied by 0 collapses into 0. 4. A conceptual mystery. Ancient mathematicians struggled with 0 because it represents both absence and position. In some sense, it is nothing, but also something, since it occupies a place on the number line. 5. The division by 0 paradox. Division by 0 is undefined, leading to deep questions in limits and calculus. Approaching 0 from the positive or negative side opens doors into infinity and singularity concepts. So obviously the 0 point in mathematics is deeply mysterious and foundational. In addition, there exists the mathematical marvel of infinite real numbers between 0 and 1. In fact, there are uncountably infinite real numbers between 0 and 1. For example, between 0 and 1, you have 0.1, 0.01, 0.01, and infinitely many more. Thus, as proven by the mathematician Georg Cantor, using his famous diagonal argument, the discrete closed interval from 0 to 1 has the same cardinality as the entire number line. Let's keep it simple. Georg Cantor proved that infinity is in the discrete, and the discrete is in infinity. Doesn't this sound familiar? In John 14:10, Jesus said to Philip, "Do you not believe that I am in the Father and the Father is in me?" The number line shows us the incarnation is not contradiction. Rather, it is convergence. The number one question on the lips of a typical Muslim apologist is, how can the infinite Logos, in whom are hidden all the treasures of wisdom and knowledge, as in Colossians 2:3, not know something? Referring to Mark 13:32, where Jesus says, "But of that day and hour no one knows, not even the angels in heaven, nor the Son, but only the Father." Was this ignorance real or assumed? Can we find the answer to this seeming enigma? Absolutely. The answer stares at us. When the eternal Word became flesh, he did not cease to be infinite, even after assuming finitude. That means he voluntarily restricted the expression of his divine attributes, not the possession it. Luke 2:52 captures this. And Jesus grew in wisdom and stature and in favor with God and man. Thus, when Jesus says he doesn't know the hour, it's not that divine knowledge was absent from his being. It's that he simply chose not to access it. In like manner, when we count from 0.1, 2 to 3, in a sense, we have just skipped 3 infinite realms just to be discrete. If we don't ignore infinity, we will never arrive at 1. Counting is, in essence, a deliberate act of discretization, a choice to ignore continuity so that progress is possible. Consequently, to count, we must skip infinity. Thus, in the case of Christ, it's a voluntary epistemic humility, a self-limitation for the sake of true humanity. Once he entered that discrete frame, he submitted fully to it, including ignorance, fatigue, hunger, and even death. Therefore, he said, "No one takes my life from me, but I lay it down of my own accord." John 10:18. But did Jesus himself claim this eternal identity? Did he claim divinity? Let's visit the I am statements of Jesus. I am the bread of life, John 6:35. I am the light of the world, John 8:12. Before Abraham was, I am, John 8:58. I am the door, John 10:9. I am the good shepherd, John 10:11. I am the resurrection and the life, John 11:25. I am the way, the truth, and the life, John 14:6. I am the true vine, John 15:1. In Revelation 1:8, he said, I am the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end, meaning he encompasses all, the entire continuum of existence, from before time to beyond eternity. And also in Revelation 22:16, he said, I am the root and the offspring of David, the bright and morning star, meaning Christ is both source and descendant, the divine and human united. He precedes his own ancestry, yet is born within it. Together, these I am declarations form a complete revelation of divine identity within the human capsule. In the classic book by C.S. Lewis, Mere Christianity, he wrote these unforgettable words. A man who was merely a man and said the sort of things Jesus said would not be a great moral teacher. He would either be a lunatic, on the level with the man who says he is a poached egg, or else he would be the devil of hell. You must make your choice. Either this man was and is the Son of God, or else a madman or something worse. But let us not come with any patronizing nonsense about his being a great human teacher. He has not left that open to us. He did not intend to. Lewis presents us with what's now called the trilemma argument: liar, lunatic, or Lord. If Jesus claimed divinity, we cannot reduce him to a mere moral guide. The logic simply doesn't allow it. So as we round up, we ask again, is the Incarnation rational? Absolutely. The Incarnation is not irrational. It is super-rational and does not defy logic. It is the very wisdom of God, hidden in plain sight, revealed in Christ. So when the Shema is declared, Deuteronomy 6:4, Hear, O Israel, the Lord is our God, the Lord is one. What does that really mean? Is God the numeric one or the infinite one? Your answer is as good as mine. Thank you for joining this episode of The Mystery and the Mirror with Dr. Sam. If this exploration gave you fresh insight, share it with a friend, subscribe for more, and remember, the same logos that upholds the number line also holds you in his hand. Until next time, stay curious and stay amazed by grace.
God's invisible attributes have been clearly seen, being understood